And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. You ever been in line at a club and you just want to get in, all these people keep getting in ahead of you, and eventually you get up to the line, you run your gums, and you get thrown out to the back alley in the trash? That's what this game's kind of like, except we're not people, we're animals trying to get into the Beasty Bar. I actually learned about this game from watching Z Garcia's review, and it looked like it was right up my alley, so I actually bought a copy. And there's not that many around in the US, so I don't think it has US distribution yet. But I did find a copy on Amazon, probably overpaid for it, but was it worth it? Is it fun? It is sort of a role selection card playing game, but it's really fun, has some great artwork. Let's take a look. In Beasty Bar, you get to select one of 4 colors, and that deck has the same cards that all the other ones have. So there's 12 cards, each of them exactly the same except the color of the background, green, red, yellow, and blue. And so you're going to be playing cards one at a time, trying to get your cards through a Heaven's Gate, up here through the Beasty Bar into Heaven's Gate, and you're trying not to get excluded out there through the That's It card. So how this works is the start player is going to take their deck, they're going to shuffle it, everyone's going to shuffle their deck, and they're going to draw 4 cards, and the rest of them are going to be face down in front of them. So they have 4 cards to pick from, and they will choose which card, for instance, to play. The artwork, now these cards are big, they're about Dixit size. They're larger than they looked on the video that I had seen before. They fit in your hands nice, the artwork's amazing, very cute. So you're going to pick one of these cards, and you're going to put it in the closest spot to Heaven's Gate that's there. So maybe here I just play the monkey, okay? Now, every time you put a character there, it's going to activate a certain ability. Let's go over these abilities. Now, one monkey does nothing, but if there's a second monkey, let's say that there was a hippo, let's say it was here before, and the monkey went there, and the second monkey went there. What happens is it shoos away all hippos or crocodiles, so they go out into the That's It pile. So go like this, face down, and there's That's It pile. And then, let's say there was a lion here at the time as well. If there's 2 monkeys, it shoos away the hippos and the crocodiles, and then this monkey gets to go first, and the next monkey he drags with him like that. So he can, when there's 2 monkeys, they can monkey around and do crazy things like that. Now the seal, as you place them, again, you're going to put them in the closest place that you can. So here is right here, and what the seal does is it swaps both the front and the back. So now the seal is basically going to be in first place, or going to be closest there. Now this will continue until there are exactly 5 cards that are here. So let's say he plays the 5th card. That would end the round after this ability has triggered. And in this case, the skunk actually takes rid of the 2 highest species, no matter how many cards there are of them, and gets rid of them. So this one and this one would go out. These guys would move up, and we would continue because there's not yet 5 cards. But if there is 5 cards, once the 5th card's there and it's there, the first 2 people are going to get in through Heaven's Gate. So they're going to go like this and go face down, and the last guy gets thrown out, and then we continue to go. Now there's just 2 guys there. So let's look at what the rest of these guys do. So the lion, he always jumps to the front no matter what. So boom, he always goes to the front because he's king of the jungle. Unless there's another lion. And if a second line is played, that one actually automatically, the second one goes right there because he's still the king. You wouldn't do that on purpose, but sometimes you're forced to play a card you don't want. The hippo gets to move in front of everybody that's less than an 11. So she slides, boom, right up like that. Now, some of these cards have this little mark on it. That means it's recurring. That means at the end of everybody else's turn, she's still going to continue to move. So if for some reason a card lower than her got moved in front of her, she's going to hop in front of them at the end of every turn. And these recurring actions happen from the front to the back. I'm not playing these in any particular order by color of card. I'm just kind of grabbing the cards and showing you. Crocodile, he eats everybody in front of him that's less than 10. So boom, boom, he eats them, and these guys get kicked out and they go to outside in the expelled area. Now the snake, puts everybody in order from largest to smallest. In this case, they're already in that order, but if they're not, they order themselves from largest to smallest from the front to the back with the snake. Now the giraffe, let's say this guy was here, the giraffe's played. The giraffe jumps in front of only one person that is less than him or her. And this happens every turn. So even other people's turns, if there's someone less in front of them, the giraffe will jump. And again, now there's 5, so it would score again. So these two essentially would get in, and this guy would get out, and boom, there we go with that again. Now the zebra, he stops the hippo and the crocodile from going in front of him. So for example, if this zebra was here and someone plays a crocodile, he can't get past the crocodile because he's a cool cat. And the hippo itself could not jump in front of the 7. So normally the hippo can jump in front of anybody that's less than 11, but the zebra stops the hippo and the crocodile from passing them. Now we already talked about the seal, basically changes the front of the line. The front moves here, the back moves here, and all the cards that go with those go with it. And now this guy would go here, and the chameleon can take the special ability of anybody that's in the play area. So this guy could play this and say, I'm acting as the seal. And then it would swap again, like that. Boom. So this guy's in first. I already talked about the monkeys, but we have the kangaroo, who when you place him can jump over the last or the last 2 people in line. It's up to you, your choice. Kangaroo can move like that. The parrot gets to squawk through the microphone and throw any person out that he wants. So you can say, zebra, you're gone. Boom, let's go like that. Now once it ends, we basically would look at the pile of the people that got in, and we would look at who has the most cards. So we would say yellow has 2, blue has 1, red has 1, well, yellow won. And if there's a tie, essentially you add up all the numbers and the lower total value is the one that wins. Now that was the basic game. There's also an advanced game where at the beginning of the game, you actually get to pick which 4 cards you're going to throw out, and you're going to keep 8 of them. Now at the end of the game, if you get your lion, hippo, snake, or seal into the bar, you're going to get 2 points. Where if you get the zebra, kangaroo, parrot, or skunk in there, you're going to get 4 points because these guys are harder to get in there. And so you don't know which 4 cards the person threw out, meaning you don't know which 8 cards they have. And the game plays the same, but you get points for which animals you get in there. And that's how you play Beasty Bar. All right, there's Beasty Bar. What originally interested me from Z's review on this was obviously the theming. I love the animal stuff. I love the cuteness. I love the play a card and crazy things happen, and it's a little chaotic, but yet there's some strategy to it. And it's rather quick, looked like a good filler, and I went for it. So now, again, I bought this, and it's hard to get, and it was a little more expensive than I would have liked, but I still had fun with the game. It reminded me a little bit of a game called Guillotine, where you're playing cards, you're trying to get people to the front of the line, you're trying to collect certain ones, you have these action cards. So this is kind of like that, but it's different because there's no action cards. You know, the action is the card you're playing, which is the role, and they change quite a bit. I like how they all interact. They all do sort of crazy things. You know, the zebra stops the crocodile, and there's all sorts of crazy things that happen. I like those recurring actions. I gotta say, I think 3 might be the good sweet spot for this game. 2, it's very tactical, kind of more strategic because you're laying a card every other time. It's not as chaotic because you can kind of plan, oh, I'm gonna throw this, and he might throw something else, and I can throw this. With 4, it's gonna be super chaotic because you're only getting every 4th card, and who knows what's gonna happen. 3 might be that sweet spot here. It does only take really 10 minutes to play the game once you know what all the symbols do. But I really like the advanced version, where you get to throw out 4 cards, you get to select which 8 you want, and depending on which ones to get in, they're worth certain points. I love that because you don't know which cards people have, where people that like perfect information, have a good memory, and can remember what people played earlier, they'll probably like the full version where the basic version where you play with all the cards, and everyone's gonna play every one of those cards at some point in the game, but again, you only have 4 in your hand at a time. I prefer the advanced version, not knowing. I like the secret information. I like trying to figure that out. So overall, it's a fun game. I can't say that I loved it as much as I hope I was going to. It's not gonna be one that comes out all the time because it is kind of random and chaotic at times. But for a short filler that's fun, it has cute artwork, I'm definitely gonna keep it in my collection. That's Beasty Bar.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.